At 2 p.m. exactly, the customer's change was 2 cents for the two-item purchase, and the invoice number was 2225. You'll see this was not a reprint because this is one of the times when the customer before leaving says to me, "Throw that away for me. I don't need the receipt." One man's trash is another man's treasure. 18 items. 2:13 p.m. Look at the invoice number, 2231, 213231. 14th hour, 13th minute, and 9th second, 1 and 8 and 9 of the feminine, $36.66. 369, 6 times 3, 18, 1 and 8 and 9 of the feminine of this year, lower half of the year of the 3, 6, 9 of the valley of the abyss of the goddess of the winter, the winner, the sun. Half of this lower half is the ascendant half of the year, the rising to Aries after the sun's symbolic death at the 6 o'clock position of the heel of hell, the Tropic of Capricorn. 3 days at the same plane on the ecliptic path at the Tropic of Cancer, the lowest point of the serpentine sine wave of the ecliptic, the great circle of the year. Serpent, circle, Mueller, anybody? After those 3 days, with the Southern Cross constellation behind the sun, dead at the Southern Cross, on the cross of the horizontal and vertical, the parallels, the lights, the lines of the sun and the moon, the sun begins a rising to Aries. Through January, and February, fumaries, through Aquarius, Aqua Osiris, and Pisces. And now we are in Aries, arisen, Horus, the father, Aquarius, Aqua Osiris, the mother, Pisces, the shins, the feet, and then back to the head of the cerebrum of Horus, the risen savior, the child of El. On the horizon, Horus of the horoscopes on the horizon, the Horus rising on the horizon, the Horus eyes on of the day's eye, Daisy, the sun, the day's eye. Are you a little dizzy from that? Are you busy? Is your consciousness full of thoughts or water or serpents, sine waves, sins of Eve? Because that's not how you want it. You want it to be spacious. You don't want to be cluttered up with thinking, worldly thinking. That'll make it so you're confused and you have no clarity of Ra, of Clara Clayton and Clarice Starling and Claire, of all declarations, Claire Underwood of the underworld. 9 o'clock p.m. exactly. 9 o'clock exactly. That's when the store closes. Trading hours are 9 to 9 at 358 Broadway, Unit B, 358 358 888. Look at the phone number, 0848. Number 506 of the Matrix. This was the guy whose name was Calvin, a doctor who told me he has a faith in Jesus, interestingly. When I mentioned that I believe in reincarnation or there's something more, he said he does too, there's something more, and he told me about his faith and that he's a doctor who sees death every day and he believes there's more than the mortal. Look, 21st hour, exactly 9 p.m., 21st second of 9 p.m. exactly, total ending in 21, 5121, 5121, 11121. 19 items, the number of synchronicities that I collected during this day in total. So this would be the 19th one. Holy shiznit. Wow, holy shed. Holy Shaddai. 2104 invoice number as well. The 21 appearing there too. 2 and 1 is 3. 333. of the brain tree, with the left, right, and middle, the 1-2 tree, and the third eye of the pineal gland that Jacob calls the name of the place where he sees God face to face, within the temples. At the top of the spine, the S-pine. The S-pine. Of the pen and the pencil, of linguistics, of the Shiva Lingam. The pen. Penetration. 17 items at 3:37 p.m. and please look at the total. 3707 at 337. Number of items 17. 3663 subtotal. 7099 invoice number. And so during this transaction, while I was ringing up this order, I was doing the gematria in my head of the word mode. M is 13, the middle M, the mem of Phoenician, Canaanite. O is 15, 13 and 15, like Om, equaling 28. It's 28 plus D for the door of the delta Daleth. 32 plus E, 5 of the ether, of the fifth essence, the quintessence, A, B, C, D, E. Makes it 37. 32 and 5, 37. Look at the total. So as I was doing that in my head, as I was ringing up the order, because you don't have to think doing these mechanical tasks, you just do them. So you can actually have your own thinking while you're doing these mechanical tasks in your temples. 37. So that's what the time was, that's what the total was. 3707 at 337. As I was doing the gematria of that mode in my head, modes as in the 3 modes of the that Krishna elucidates in the Bhagavad Gita. The mode of goodness, the modes of goodness, the modes of passion, and the mode of dullness. Which one are you living by? Krishna doesn't say to live by any of them. Or he says that in other words, he advocates transcending the modes. That even goodness is limitation. Because when you put yourself on the side of goodness, you are always in a fight with the other side. $3:43 p.m. Invoice number 7104. Total 3418. 3418 total. 343 time. 11 items. 7104. 7 times 2. 3374 subtotal. Jung, Carl Jung, who we're going to go to in a minute here with Man and His Symbols, back to reading about modern art. Carl Jung coined the term synchronicity. And he said it's an ever-present reality for those with eyes to see. Last night I was listening to someone read it on YouTube, someone reading the spiritual problem of modern man. Check that out. Carl Jung, the spiritual problem of modern man. In other words, our spiritual problem. Are you not modern men and women? Are you not here now, in this particular time and place? 3:44 time, 12 items, 52:38 total, 5238, 28th second, 382844 time, the miniature, the monitor of Taurus. 4 and 4 Ru equals 44 in English gematria, just like mask. 8 at 88, 44 times 2. Persona equals 88, or the word which means ego and mask. The social mask, the ego. And then 19th, last but not least, look at this. Whoa! And this was the one I promised this young woman that I would say her and her mom's names. I think that was her mom with her. I'm pretty sure. Mariana and Anna. Mariana. Anna from Hannah. meaning God's grace. That's the customer who had this purchase. I shared my WordPress page, wrote it down for her. Very, very intelligent human beings here. WHRB, Harvard Radio. 72 items. News and sports coverage. The total was $217.36. Also listen online at 72 items, $217.36 total. $214.48 subtotal. The 72 names in the Bible, then 72 in the Torah of Taurus. 72, 217.36 total. 28-cent tax, total ending in 48. What was the big one? Oh, I'm sorry. So this is the thing that makes it synchromistic here. 6155 invoice number, and there's the 55th second of the 20th hour and the 30th minute, 8:30 and 55 seconds, rounded off to 8:31 here. 55th second invoice number 6155. 1955, the 1955 double die penny, Back to the Future, time travel. You'll remember in the show, if you watched Umbrella Academy, that's where this organization responsible for maintaining the space-time continuum and ensuring that the end of the world happens, because it's supposed to happen, it's centered in 1955. And I just saw on the meter here, the time counter, that I just passed 11 minutes and 55 seconds. Let's go to Man and His Symbols by Carl Jung now, where we left off. The labyrinth of labor, of the labia, the maze of the masons, of the the weekdays, the weekend days, and the weekends, the weekends, the weaknesses, and the conceit of concept. I lost my marking where I was, but so instead of trying to continue where I was, I'm going to just start at this part today, which is the secret soul of things. Left and above, two compositions by Kurt Schwitters, 1887 to 1948. His kind of imaginative art uses and transforms ordinary things. In this case, old tickets, paper, metal, etc. Below left, pieces of wood similarly used by Hans Arp, born 1887. Below, a sculpture by Picasso, born 1881. Ordinary objects, leaves, are part of the subject rather than the material. It's definitely very relevant to the art that I've done. Oops. Oopsie daisy. The camera fell. Let's put it over here now. The secret soul, let's just, actually I'm not going to begin with the secret soul of things. I will start at the beginning of the page. To illustrate Kandinsky's point that the two elements of art, the abstract and the concrete, have parted company, in 1913, the Russian painter Kazimir Malevich painted a picture that consisted only of a black square on a white ground. It was perhaps the first purely abstract picture ever painted. He wrote of it, "In my desperate struggle to liberate art from the ballast of the world of objects, I took refuge in the form of the square." A year later, the French painter Marcel Duchamp set up an object chosen at random, a bottle rack, on a pedestal and exhibited it. Jean Bazin wrote of it, "This bottle rack, torn from its utilitarian context and washed up on the beach, has been invested with the lonely dignity of the derelict. Good for nothing, there to be used, ready for anything, it is alive. It lives on the fringe of existence, its own disturbing, absurd life. The disturbing object, that is the first step to art." Hare Krishna.